I want to pull some cards and let's look and see what is going to happen with this new Speaker of the House. So what's going to happen with this new Speaker of the House? What are going to be the ramifications of that? My immediate reactions to that are that he is so toxic that this will really rally the Democratic voters to come out and vote en masse. Okay, so this may be a good thing. Again, it's starting out in a negative, but it may be a good thing to show just the dire need to get rid of these radicals. Okay, so let's look and see what the cards have to say. At the center of it all is about, they're wanting to control. Okay, now this guy has been so toxic on so many things. So let's look and see what we have. Above it, we have what's being worked on, the toxicity. Underneath of it, for their long-term plan. Okay. So this is absolutely, he's going to show the toxicity of their long-range plans. Okay. Going into it, not liking the harvest. The seeds that are planted, okay, people are going to be speaking out about it. This is going to bring up a lot of talk. Going into it, feeling a bit abused when it comes to power. Excuse me. And underneath of it, we have their manipulations, okay? So we see this going in, what these ones are up to. Let's see what the challenge is. The challenge is about him going forward. Now, they still have that implemented, that one person can stand up to have him removed, and they can do the vote. So that is still in place. It's about who is holding on to power, okay? Above it, the secrets, the hidden things that are happening, and arguments that are going to come out of this, okay? Underneath of it, we have a lot of nightmare scenarios, charging forward, just real too quick action trying to take it, how it's affecting our world, what's being shared. We're looking at our government for positions of power, the ones you can come to. We're looking at what's happening at the House, what they're trying to get away with. Oh, I've got one more under there. What they're trying to tie up and what they're trying to end, okay? So all of this scenario is going on. This is another Jim Jordan on steroids, okay? And so we are going to see just how they're going to try to upend the House with this guy. And again, it's not looking good. So let's see what's driving all of this. Underneath of it, we have what's driving it is his ability to try to control in leadership in that position of manipulation. Things they're trying to hide going forward, okay? How it's affecting our world, the positions in government, and endings, okay? So there may be a lot of people in those positions of government. When it comes up to the next vote for them, they may be ousted. We may have had enough. As a people, with the toxicity that they're trying to implement, okay? So what's being worked on with their long-term plan is they don't like the harvest of things that have happened. You know, they're going to try to make radical changes. There's going to be a lot of talk being there about the nightmare scenario. They're trying to get this stuff put through rapidly with their tying things up and trying to get away with things, okay? We'll have to see what's being shared. Again, when it comes to the happenings, the things moving forward, the energy, feeling a bit abused when it comes to his holding on to power, and the toxicity and arguments that are now going to be in the house, okay? So this is a very toxic element that's coming in, but it might be enough to really push over the edge those that are not the radical element, but the conservative. So let's see what's going to happen with the conservatives with this. Will they finally get a backbone when it comes to voting? Let's see. So for the conservatives, you know, this is an end point, swords in the back. So let's see what's above it and what's the foundation. Above it is they're going to come together. They're going to start to come together and look at what they're holding on to, their values. Are they going to continue to hold on to their values going into it, rallying the family, okay, for long term? Above it, they're going to start having the arguments, they're having the stress, the struggle with this when it concerns their world. So it looks like the conservatives are in fact worried about this and may start rallying. The challenge is what's being peddled, what are their desires, what are they pushing, the merchant, what are they selling, what's being sold when it comes to holding on to power, okay? So I think that they've got a different element. Now, in the other reading, we had the king holding on to power. In this, we have the queen holding on to power. So this is, I think, them looking at what they are going to try to share and sell to the rest of the moderates, okay, about the history of things. We have, usually this is the one holding the power. I think this has to do with 45. He's been the head of the party, and they see the timing of this. It's time to get strong, mentally strong, and say we need to walk away. We need to distance ourselves. They're going to try to reach out with strength, with new offerings, offering up what is being juggled, okay, about how unhappy they are with this radical right, okay? So let's break this down. They're looking at their world, what is coming up. The wheel is turning. They're trying to get a hold of those of like mind, the families, to strengthen it. They need to strengthen their party and get rid of the radical elements, okay? Mentally, they're just so done with this. So they're going to try to start to stand up, slice and dice, because they've just had it. They've just had it. They don't like the way the party has gone with these radical elements. They knew if they didn't put in, and basically the Toxic Eight, the Magatonians said, look, you're not going to get somebody in there and you need to get a Speaker of the House in, and the only way you're going to do it is to get a Magatonian, or we're going to hold you up forever. Okay? So basically, that's the screws that was put to them. And then their constituencies, they say, we need a Speaker of the House, get something done. So they were put between a rock and a hard place. But they are having enough of this. So they're looking at the values they try to hold on to. They're looking at the long range. They're looking at how Trump fits into this and how this stuff is being juggled. Okay? They're coming in a consensus when it comes to family and their values, what they can share, how they're going to try to sell this, the history. They want to walk away from these toxic elements and offer up something else. They are in the midst of the struggle and trying to be able to hold on to some power somewhere and to get this motivated and going forward. Okay. I'm going to pull some Lenormand and just see what it can tell us about this as well. My feeling is they're going to be so overwhelmingly attempting to be toxic that this will turn the tide and people will have enough of them and say no more. Okay? This is all an element by 45 trying to get him out of this, trying to get him made president again. But it's not going to work. So above it, we have trying to create another tale, another story, okay? Lies, drama, money. It's what it's all about with them. Above it, the community, and underneath of it, yeah, they're going to try to talk with the community. Okay, sacrifices. It's about sacrificing health. They may try to move against health care, okay? And maybe people are just getting sick of it. It could be as well. So the challenge is new people kind of affecting some of the older people with this. I think they've had enough. Yeah, again, we have the people. Okay, and the direction, looking at the direction of this. When it comes to the sacrificing of health, at the center of all this is a doorway. This is creating a doorway. Going into it, they're struggling with this now. The community, the people, when they see how this is playing out, and they want to sweep this under the carpet. They're arguing with this, the direction of this. They don't like the direction that this is going, with this really toxic element in there, trying to railroad everything. They may have just had enough, but let's look and see what's surrounding the doorway. So the major thing is the Republican Party itself. This doorway, what's it creating? Okay, backing off, okay, wanting to, make them retreat. Mentally, they've had enough of it. Underneath of it is judgment, and above it, the strong judgment that they've had enough. They want the conservatives back in power. Okay, so this is going to backfire on them. That was my feeling to begin with. This is going to wind up backfiring on the Magatonians, okay, the Trumpettes. This is going to backfire. And the moderates are saying we need to lay this to rest. We have had enough of it, okay? And so that's what I see happening with this new speaker that they've got. So on that note, I'll leave that here and we'll see you online.